Let's talk about the Obsidian lawsuit. So apparently, and you guys know how I feel about Obsidian, apparently they are now being sued. Now, there is a lot of chaos going on with Xbox. We already know that. Obsidian is an Xbox studio, in case you guys are not aware of that, which I'm sure most of you are. But they are being sued. The Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed Studio Obsidian is facing a class action lawsuit over allegations of supposed systemic pattern of wage and hour violations, which it obviously denies. So these are people that seemingly have worked for Obsidian in the past, and they have decided to get together and try to sue Obsidian. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you guys want to see more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join me every single day, 9 p.m. over on the main channel, where you can catch me live every single day, 9 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see every single one of you there. Now back to the main video. Crazy story, not something that I ever thought was going to happen. Obsidian denied each and every allegation. Obviously, that's going to be pretty much up there. So let's talk about it. As highlighted by a Reddit user, Mackenzie, on PC Gaming subreddit, this case isn't actually a totally new one technically. It appears to have flown under the radar for the last few months. In fact, it first kicked off in October of last year, but an amended class action complaint filed on January 12, 2026 by a plaintiff who is listed in the Outer Worlds 2's credits as a QA lead. Okay, so they just recently worked on a recent game. Interesting. Outlines the allegations in full. It says that it's alleged that Obsidian increased their profits by violating state wage and hour laws, by failing to pay all wages, including minimum wages and overtime wages, including those due upon separation of employment, and pay wages in a timely manner during employment to the plaintiff and class members. By the way, this is Obsidian, right? The same Obsidian that people are trying to convince us is so successful, right? The same Obsidian that people try to say Avowed was so successful. It was an amazing video game. It was loved by everybody. The same people that call you grifters if you try to point out the fact that those games did not do well. Well, apparently they were allegedly not paying people on time. I wonder why that is. Anyway, other allegations include failure to provide lawful meal periods or compensation in lieu thereof, or lawful rest breaks, and failure to reimburse necessary business-related costs and provide accurate, itemized wage statements to those claimed to be affected. Now, to be clear, the class is defined as an all persons currently or formerly employed by any or all defendants as non-exempt employees in the state of California at any time between October 9, 2021 and the date of the class certification, with Turner also aiming to certify all members of the class who separated their employment with any or all defendants at any time between October 9th, 2022, and the date of class certification. The lawsuit seeks monetary relief for those allegedly affected to recover, among other things, unpaid wages, unreimbursed business expenses, benefits, interest, attorney fees, costs, and expenses, as well as penalties pursuant to the alleged labor code violations and Code of California Civil Procedure. Now, guys, I got to be honest with you, man. It ain't looking good, okay? Because I don't know what kind of profits they're looking to get from Obsidian. I don't think they're going to find many, okay? If you looked at the performance of their recent video games, I don't really think that's many profits to be had there. I think they're pretty much probably in the negative, and they're one of those studios that are, in fact, being subsidized by Microsoft just because of their name, right? Because when it comes to Obsidian, Obsidian is just like Bungie in the sense that they survive based off what they did in the past. They all have that one thing that they're known for. They all have that one thing that everybody remembers them for, and everything else doesn't mean a fucking thing, right? It's like super average, super mid, or subpar, right? Everybody knows Obsidian for Fallout New Vegas, right? Everybody knows them. Just like everybody knows Bungie for Halo, right? Everybody knows them for that. So they ride on that, and every time they advertise a new video game, what do? They always advertise it as from the makers of New Vegas, right? Or from the makers of Halo. Like they always ride on the coattails of their fucking, like, you know, most known video games. Yeah, and KOTOR too, exactly. So they're known for those things. But unfortunately for them, their latest endeavors haven't exactly been very good. You know, the Outer Wilds 2, what did that game even do? What did that game even do, Outer Wilds 2? I don't remember. I just know it didn't do that well. But anyway, Obsidian filed a response to this in early March in which it denies, generally and specifically, each and every allegation that's laid out and requested that the complaint be dismissed in its entirety with prejudice. It put forth 38 points of defense or affirmative defense, including claims that the complaint fails to state facts sufficient to constitute valid claims against defendant which of relief can be granted, and that the plaintiff and any alleged class members or aggrieved employees consented to or was acquiesced in the alleged conduct by defendant of which plaintiff now complains. Since then, the case has been pretty quiet per the Superior Court of California, County of Orange Register of Actions. The last update apparently came the day after the aforementioned response was filed and was a payment of $1,435, seemingly consisting of a complex case fee and a fee for answer or other first paper. Man, boys, this is not good. I don't really know if anything's going to come from this because let's be real, like usually these class action lawsuits, they really don't tend to go anywhere. And when they do go somewhere, the settlement, once it's split up between everybody involved in the class action lawsuit, it really doesn't amount to anything. They're usually just something that these lawyers tend to go after companies for because it's easy money for them and barely any money for anybody that benefits from the win of the lawsuit, right? It's barely anything. So I don't really know what's going to come from this. I just find this all to be very interesting. And I got to be honest with you, this is a really bad time for this to happen. Because again, Obsidian is one of those studios that people are discussing whether or not Xbox is going to keep them around. And I got to be real with you, I think they will. I think they view, like I said earlier, I think they view Obsidian as one of those studios that's worth subsidizing, just like PlayStation views Bungie as one of those studios that are worth subsidizing, because they want to keep the studios around simply because of their legacy and their namesake and what they were known for, not necessarily what they've put out. They will always pretend like these studios are the most amazing thing ever. They put out the most amazing games ever because they want people to remember and think about the better time that these studios had better games. They don't want to talk about the more recent games, so they'll always try to deflect as much as possible. But yeah, I don't think they're going to give up these studios. And yeah, I agree. Hamar, I actually liked Outer Worlds 1. I thought Outer Worlds 1 was decent. There were moments where I was like, this is pretty fucking mid, but I think it's like barely above mid. Like for the most part, Outer Worlds wasn't that bad of a video game. It was a little bit short, but it wasn't that bad of a game. Outer Worlds 2, I never played because I just really wasn't into it, really wasn't interested. It's one of those games that I'll buy it when it's like $5 on sale. But it's not like after playing the first one, I was like, I'm good. I don't want to go out and buy the second one. Like I'm okay. And Avowed, obviously I reviewed Avowed. I did complete Avowed, and it was an experience. I'll just say that. And you know what's sad with Avowed? Avowed was plagued by one of the issues that I always say. You guys already know what I'm going to say. One of the issues, the top issue in the gaming industry, in entertainment as a whole, and that's bad writers. Avowed was plagued with an awful fucking story. It was an awful story. Like it actually had, listen, I'll say this. Avowed had fun exploration. All right. It was actually fun to run around the map and find all the little knickknacks and shit and find the gear. And like, it was actually fun. They did a really good job with the level design and the exploration. It was really, really good. The side quests were pretty decent also. But in terms of like the main story and the driving force behind you playing the game, it was fucking awful. I hated it. I could not stand it. And it had such super cringe dialogue that bro, I swear to God, I nearly fell asleep multiple times during multiple streams when I was playing that game. It was really that bad. And then the combat, bro, all the people that were praising the combat, the shills that were praising the combat in Avowed, I have to question if we played the same game. Because that fucking game had the most basic bitch combat I've ever seen in my entire life. I ended up developing a build that I did all on my own. I didn't look up any guides or anything. I developed a build that allowed me to stun lock pretty much any enemy in 1 or 2 hits. I was able to stun lock them and then perform a stun specific super hit and then stun lock them again and then super hit them. They were unable to fight me back. If you don't believe me, you could go watch my build on the streams. They're still up on the gaming channel. It was ridiculous. And then bosses, I can stun lock bosses in like 3 or 4 hits. After 3 or 4 charge hits, they were stunned, and it was the easiest thing in the fuck. It was awful. It was so awful. And obviously, I know you can increase the difficulty and stuff like that, but it doesn't change the fundamental aspects of the combat, which really wasn't great. Wasn't Avowed the game where the NPCs basically all stood around? Yeah, yeah. The NPCs were not alive whatsoever. They just literally just sat there. They just sat there. It was a game where all the basic physics that have been around in video games like theirs were completely gone. You know, they were comparing Avowed to some older video games like Oblivion, for example, and Oblivion had better physics. It's crazy. It was just you can clearly see that Avowed was rushed. You can clearly see that they probably were in development hell and they decided to rush the game and just get it out there. And what they put out there just wasn't great. It wasn't. I'm sorry. It was so aggressively fucking mid. It was slightly below mid. I'm good. I'm good. I never want to play another Avowed. Which, by the way, there was rumors. I didn't even bother bringing it up, but there was rumors that there was an Avowed 2, that they're working on an Avowed 2, and apparently there's rumors that that game has been canceled already. Now, again, it's all rumors. We don't know for sure, but it's like, why would you make an Avowed 2 when the first one fucking flopped? It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, that's basically it for the Obsidian story. And, if there's any more information about this in the future, I will obviously let you guys know. We'll follow up on it. But for right now, that's all we got on that.